It was a gloomy day right here in San Antonio, and more rain is on the way. Meteorologist Mike Hernandez will be here in just a few to tell us what we can expect. But first, 8 people are dead and dozens more injured after a bus crashes in South Texas.
Yes, the crash happened around 11:30 this morning on U.S. Highway 83 just north of Laredo. Officials say the bus was on its way to a casino when it crashed. Fire officials say died at this scene, and an 8th person later died at the hospital. The OGA Charters travel bus was headed from the Rio Grande Valley to Eagle Pass. Police say only the bus was involved in this rollover. An investigation is now underway into what caused the accident. Been a wet Saturday so far.
And more storms are on the way. Meteorologist Mike Hernandez joins us now with the first look at weather. Mike.
Yeah, you know what? There's going to be rain around for the next 5 days off and on. So just like we had a batch come through in the middle of the day and then we saw the sun again by late afternoon, it's going to be like that. Sometimes at night, sometimes in the afternoon. Right now the showers have moved off to the east. They've weakened a lot. But of course, as they rolled through San Antonio to the south and back to the west, there was some heavy storms at times, some pretty good rainfall. There are some showers and some storms that are developing further back to the west. We'll watch these overnight, first around Del Rio and Rock Springs, but I think it's going to take most of the night for those to get going. As far as what's left from the batch that came through us, we have some around Schulenburg, LaGrange, and now east of Yoka, but again, very weak compared to what it was. Right now, quiet in San Antonio. I'll let you know how long it's going to last. We're going to talk about your Sunday weather. There's more rain in the forecast. I'll tell you how much we can expect coming up.
A man is in the hospital tonight after crawling back to the highway for help after a crash. Deputies say a man on a motorcycle wiped out on the frontage road of I-10 just before FM 1518 at around 4 this morning. And the man says he was lying in the grass for 4 hours yelling for help before he crawled out to the frontage road. Someone driving saw him and called for help.
A man is facing charges tonight after he led police on a chase in a stolen vehicle. It happened around 9:30 last night at Highway 16 and Loop 410. Deputies say the plates on the car came back as stolen, and when they tried to pull him over, he took off. He led them on a chase through a neighborhood, back out onto 410 to I-35, where construction crews had the road blocked off, as you see right there. At that point, he slammed into several cars that were stopped on the highway. One woman was taken to the hospital with a leg injury. The driver of the car was arrested on charges of possession of a stolen vehicle and evading arrest.
Meanwhile, a girl is in the hospital tonight after she was hit by her brother's pickup truck. It happened at around 5:30 on Callahan Road near Culebra. Police say the girl and a relative were walking back from a convenience store when the girl's brother drove up in a truck to pick them up. That's when police say she started acting like she was going to jump in front of the truck and did fall in the truck's path. She was taken to University Hospital in critical condition. The brother is not facing any charges. And the Bexar County Sheriff's Office is investigating a baby's death tonight. Deputies were called out to this home on Twin Valley Drive outside 1604. They say the 3-month-old baby was not breathing. Now he was taken by air life to University Hospital where he later died. Deputies are trying to determine how he died.
A family is having to stay somewhere else tonight after a fire rips through their north side home. It happened around 11 this morning on Pilgrim Drive near West Avenue. A neighbor first spotted the flames, knocked on the door, was able to get the one person inside at the time out safely. No word yet on a cause. Damage, though, is estimated at about $50,000. About a half dozen homeowners in northwest Bexar County woke up to a surprise this morning. Someone had vandalized their homes with fruit. Yes, fruit. News 4 San Antonio's Jocelyn Tovar has more on this bizarre story.
There's the windshield.
Thelma Bruca is scratching her head this morning.
And I love watermelon. Why would they waste a perfectly good watermelon to do something like that?
Wondering why someone would throw fruit through her daughter's car windshield.
I mean, I don't think anybody has anything that they would want to come and just do damage to our house for. I don't, that they're mad at us or mad at one of my kids.
But it was when her family called law enforcement that they discovered they weren't the only ones, that there had been half a dozen calls in the same neighborhood, all this type of vandalism.
He didn't go into specifics, but he did say that he thought they were related because they used fruit. Fruit is the weapon of choice this morning.
Quote unquote weapon of choice, but this is a serious offense.
Pay for a new windshield for my daughter's car, and it's not going to be a cheap one.
The cost of replacing a windshield means this criminal mischief can be punishable with up to 1 year in jail. The family thinks it was likely a dumb teen prank.
But do they realize that this kind of thing really costs money?
But that whoever did this should know how it can set a family back.
This is real damage.
Jocelyn Tovar.
They've left us without a car until we get it fixed for my daughter to drive around in.
News 4 San Antonio.
Meantime, more than 2,000 people kicked off the 2016 Fit Family Challenge this morning. Runners joined Councilman Ray Saldana for the D4 Heroes 5K Run Walk. It marks the beginning of the 7th annual San Antonio Sports Fit Family Challenge. And hey, I know her. Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley was on hand this morning to MC this event.
Going from homelessness to independence, that's the goal of Haven for Hope. And today, dozens of people celebrated just that. News 4 San Antonio's Renee Santos shows us how Haven for Hope is helping those who are struggling become self-sufficient.